What's going on, guys? Kyle Lacochi with Lacochi Films here. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Wanted to talk to you guys today about the 3 lenses that I bring with me to every real estate shoot. So number 1 is probably the most obvious, which is my 15 to 35 millimeter. This lens is a monster. If you're looking to get into real estate photography or videography, that's going to be the best of all the lenses. It does everything that you need to. So every home that you're going to go into is going to need a wide angle 15 millimeter shot at some point, whether it's bathrooms or small rooms. You know, if you are in bigger homes, you can do more punched in shots like 24 or 35. However, you're going to need that 15 millimeter pretty much any home you go to. As far as photography goes, you're not going to use the f2.8 because you're going to want to have everything in focus. I always shoot f8 or higher. But when it comes to videography, you're going to always run into some room in a home that's going to be too dark, and instead of just bumping up the ISO and introducing grain into it, you can stop down, then bump up the ISO if you need to. But that's why f.2 is really helpful, is that you can always stop down to it and it helps you lighten up the home. All right, the number 2 lens that I bring to every shoot is my 24 to 105 millimeter f4. I typically use this between the 50 and 85 millimeter mark. Rarely I'll use it in the 105. I think that it's a great lens to focus on details. I think that it also pushes me in small homes to get more creative and find ways to incorporate 50 millimeters to 85 millimeter. I think it is a great option if you have anything tighter than a 35 millimeter lens to introduce something tighter so that the viewers do get a different experience, especially in the video side. I don't use this typically too much for photos. I do occasionally, but it's got to be a very specific opportunity on the photo side. All right, last but not least, in the number 3 spot, I use the Nifty 50. Most of the times I just use this for detail shots. I don't usually use it for video, pretty much just photography. Most of the time I use it for stagers who want specific detail shots of their staging, and I think it really does a good job because it does go down to f1.8, so it does have that nice bokeh. You get the depth of field between the foreground and the background, so when you're trying to focus on one subject, one object in the home, it does a really nice job of that. I don't use it for video too often because in the other lens, the 24 to 105, it's already covered with the 50 millimeters is within that range. So I typically don't slap this on after I'm using that one. All right, well, that's it for all the lenses that I use for real estate. If you have any questions, drop a comment below and please subscribe.